So in this video, I just want to lay out some ideas I've been having about starting a Patreon and Discord community. I'm going to talk about, why I think it might be of interest to people, the kinds of people who might be attracted by the idea, and I'm going to share with you what I've been thinking about in terms of the tiers. And I would really be interested to hear your feedback. What do you think of the idea? Would you like to be involved in this? And do you have any ideas on what could actually make it better? What other things could be included? So first of all, I think that people who would be interested in this are people who are very much more aligned with the aims of this channel. That is to say, trying to understand ME-CFS, long COVID POTS in their full complexities, not minimizing them to say it's just this or just that. People who understand that a range of treatments targeting a range of problems are often necessary to move forward, and people who are open to considering, the full possibility for how we can improve our lives and hopefully ultimately move towards recovery. And I think at the moment, when we look across YouTube, there are some channels which do a great job of explaining the research, but they don't tend to have communities attached to them. And conversely, there are other channels which are very popular, but which push a very limited view of what ME-CFS supposedly involves. In other words, it's just a quote-unquote hypersensitive nervous system, and please buy my course while you're about it for several $1,000s. And so what I'm looking to do instead is to have a place at a fair price where people who are interested in the full landscape of ME-CFS, in keeping abreast of all of the research, in understanding all of the treatment options, not dismissing one thing over the other, not saying that brain retraining is the only way, or that you shouldn't do it at all, or that biomedical treatments are useless or whatever, but actually having the kind of mindset, the whole truth, the whole complexity of the illness is something that you want to understand. I want to have somewhere that people can come where they can find people who are like-minded and can support each other in that endeavour to really get to grips with just how complex these illnesses are, swap tips, swap research, swap treatment ideas, and be able to support each other moving forward in trying to improve quality of life. So that's something I want to do, is to create a space where people of this kind of mindset can find each other. I want to do my best to present, again, the full landscape of what ME-CFS involves in an accessible way. I want to interview more experts. I want to interview more patients. I want this to be a place where nothing is off the table in terms of discussing the illness. And I suppose I'm starting to see myself more as someone who's a kind of like a health journalist. I want to be able to present everything to people. And I don't want, there's quite a few channels out there which can have useful information, but they're often, in some sense, and sometimes in a greater sense than others, depending on which channel it is, but a kind of marketing front. And I don't want that to be the case here. I want this to be a place where 100% of things is discussed for free. People are sick, and I don't really want to be in a situation where people are handing over large swathes of money to get that quote-unquote very important information that they supposedly need in order to recover. This kind of marketing dynamic that occurs in a lot of ME-CFS channels. So I don't want that here. So this would be a way to support that endeavour while also engaging more with other people, as well as myself, who are aligned with the overall aims of the channel. So let me just show you what I'm thinking of. So what I would propose would be that there would be a basic tier, and I guess one could just start with this for the sake of simplicity. And here's what I've written out already. So it would be called the ME-CFS Research and Support Community, and it would be charged at €5.50 a month, which is around $6. And so what I've written here is: your support helps me to keep creating free and research-informed content and gives you access to a private Discord community. So here you'll be able to connect with others living with ME-CFS and long COVID in a supportive, respectful space. and also interact directly with me, so I would participate as well. And one of the great things about Discord is not only can you make, text-based connections, but you can also talk via audio or video chat with people. And that's what I want, is I'd have channels for people to actually form real connections, not just, text-based. And then as part of this, there would be a Zoom call for an hour once a month where I would be participating. So you'd be able to ask me some questions, but it would really be a kind of joint Zoom call where people can just reflect, share, discuss the latest research, their insights and healing strategies together. You'd also have the option to submit your questions, so I'm hoping to start doing in the coming, as the YouTube channel grows, to do Q&A videos. People could ask questions that I could respond to, and you'd also be able to submit questions for upcoming interviews with leading ME-CFS researchers and experts. So I'd post that in advance, maybe a week in advance of doing the interview, and you could actually say the questions that you'd like to ask, and I would, I couldn't guarantee, and I could select some of those questions to put to the expert in question. And you'd also get, gosh, isn't this very nice of me, a free PDF or EPUB of my book as well. So those are my thoughts for what would be the basic tier. So please let me know what you think, what else could be included there. Someone very kindly has suggested that to actually do some also free well-being classes, guided meditation and guided Reiki sessions. So that kind of thing could also be part of it, where people actually can offer some kind of skill for other people in this community. Then I'm thinking of also at a later point you could have a higher tier, which could be maybe focused on, it could be called something like Recovery Mastermind or Recovery and Research Mastermind, where we have smaller group calls, maybe capped at around 8 people, and there could be a couple of options for these a month. I would attend as well. And in those sessions we would, in a much more focused way, pool the latest insights from research, talk about treatments that we're trying and how they're going, and kind of, we could even talk about specific themes, like there might be a very interesting series of recent research papers, and then we can actually come together and discuss them. So something that's kind of much more focused on actually delving into the research and brainstorming together ideas for how we can then move forward. And so that's something that I'm thinking of as well. That could be maybe €12.50 a month, which is around, just slightly over $13 or $13.50, which could allow for a more in-depth exploration together of these kinds of topics. So that kind of broadly speaking is where I'm at the moment with this idea. So I want to hear what you think. Would you like to participate? And what else could be nice to bring in? I don't know yet when I'm going to launch this, something that I don't quite think I'll be doing just yet, but nevertheless it's very helpful at this stage just to just to kind of get an expression of interest, and also any ideas you have regarding how it could actually work. So that's it. I particularly look forward to your comments, and I will see you in the next video.